Welcome to the End Content Co YouTube channel. Today is part 1 of our second build computer series where we show you all of the included components and the first steps in the process of building a PC. All of these components were purchased with our own money. This video is not sponsored. Are you subscribed to the channel? Subscribe to be entered into our 100 subscriber giveaway. Stay tuned for more details once we hit 100. This computer build will be particularly interesting because it will be an inverted computer, meaning the PC will be built upside down. This is possible given the functionality of the Lian Li 011 Dynamic EVO case. These are all the components you will see in this build. The case is the Lian Li 011 Dynamic EVO. The central processing unit is an Intel i9-12900K Special Edition. The CPU cooling AIO is a Kraken Z73. The motherboard is an ASUS C690E. The graphics processing unit is a 3090 Ti Founders Edition. The RAM is 32GB of Corsair DDR5 Dominator 6200. The storage will be 4 NVMe drives. The primary OS drive is a Samsung 990. There is also 2 SK Hynix Platinum P41 2TB and 1 WD Black 2TB. The power supply unit is a Corsair 1500i. For system cooling, we have 10 black 120mm Lian Li Infinity fans. We are installing Windows 11 Pro operating system. This machine will be used for AI, machine learning, video editing, gaming, and streaming purposes. Let's get to building. We start this build by inverting the case, essentially building the computer upside down. Given that this machine will have no disks or moving parts, it is okay for all the components to be upside down. The first step is to take off the top and back panels to expose the back of the case. We then remove the SSD holder in the middle of the case, which exposes the cables. Then we take off the pieces that hold the fans on the top and bottom of the case. As you can see, some screws are a little harder to get off by hand, so you may need a drill to help. Next, we take out the hard drive bay. This build will not have any hard drives. This piece would have been removed, but it is essential given the power supply bracket attaches to it. Now we are feeding the cables through the bottom of the case. The power supply bracket is at the bottom of the case, and we will be using that later. Now, it is time to flip it, technically, upside down. The next step is to put the bottom of the case back on and screw the cables into place. They run under the case, and there is a particular hole for the screw. Once that is screwed in, we feed the cables into the case and put the dust cover back on. We then flip the case back over. First, we are reinstalling the hard drive bay. Next, we screw on the power supply bracket on top of the hard drive bay. Then, we reinstalled the top panel, the pieces that hold the fans at the bottom and top of the case, and the back fan vent. The last piece to reinstall would be the SSD holder in the back of the case. Now you have a completely inverted case. Next, we will install the CPU on the motherboard. As mentioned before, we are using the ASUS Z690E motherboard. This board functions exactly as advertised. With a plethora of options and functionality, this motherboard is jammed-packed with features. We recommend updating the BIOS to the most current version before installing Windows. This motherboard comes with a 2 NVMe PCI slot expander board. We are using the Intel i9-12900K Special Edition. We love this gold casing. With 16 cores and 24 threads, this CPU is very powerful. Given the uses of this machine, it's a good choice. To install this CPU, you first lift the lever and pull the covering up. Make sure to line up the CPU with the correct corner on the motherboard. Then, when you press the covering back down, the black piece comes out. Then, you will close the holding with the lever. The next step is to install the AIO. We are using the Kraken Z73. Because we are using Intel, we are installing the bracket for the AIO that is specific for Intel. Now we are installing the Lian Infinity fans to the radiator of the AIO. We first connect the fans and then screw them on. These fans are positioned to be exhaust fans to push the air through the radiator and out of the top of the case. This product comes with pre-installed thermal paste. Once you place the AIO on the CPU, all you need to do is screw it into the bracket. The last step of installing the AIO is to screw the radiator into the top of the case. Now, we are installing the RAM. We are using 32 GB of Corsair DDR5 Dominator 6200. When using only 2 sticks of RAM, be sure to place them in slots 2 and 4. Thank you for watching part 1 of this build series. Stay tuned for upcoming unboxings and reviews as well as part 2 of this series. Check out our previous videos, the links are in the description. Don't forget to subscribe for a chance to win our giveaway, like this video, and comment below what you would like us to do in upcoming videos.